So if you feel like take care of our skin when we're in the sun's UV, the harsh UV rays. To the favorite part of my video, skin from the sun's harsh rays. So I've been struggling to say this word, the harsh UV rays. Yes. So like almost an hour later, this is the wing look that I managed to come up with. So what I go in with is normally my, what's the name of it? Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I haven't done a makeup tutorial in such a long time, and because we're in spring heading into summer, my favorite season, I thought let me do something cute for you guys. So I came up with this 5-minute beginner friendly look, one color on the eye, little bit of tips and tricks on how I get my highlighter on fleek, and one of my newest little tricks that I've been doing for my contouring and my highlighting. So if you're interested in checking out how I achieved this look and also to hear my secrets, continue watching. But before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and yeah, continue watching. So like I always explain in all my videos, I first make sure that my skin is completely clean. So I always give it a good wash. Try and exfoliate a day or sometimes on the morning before doing a tutorial or doing makeup. It just makes your skin so much smoother. Your face is like basically a portrait. So before doing a portrait, you're obviously going to need a smooth surface to work on. So my skin has been a bit dry lately because of weather change. We have like all 4 seasons in one day. So what I've been using lately is the Avene. It's like a little thermal spring water spray. This is a little sample I got, but I'm quite sure you can find them at Clicks as well. I normally use this on my kids for the eczema, but this is perfect for the summertime. And in summer, we're wanting our skin to stay hydrated, and because this is a summer look, we're of course wanting a nice and dewy finish, and you're wanting your skin to be hydrated underneath the foundation or whatever makeup you're going to be putting on your skin. So I'm just going to let that dry a bit. Because this is a summertime look, we are wanting to protect our skin from the sun's harsh rays. So I've been struggling to say this word, the harsh UV rays. Yes. So we're wanting to put on something that has SPF before applying the makeup, because you're wanting to protect the skin from the sun's UV rays. So what I've been using is the Pigment Bio. I received this from them last year sometime. This is from the Pigment Bio range. This is a daytime cream, and it actually works quite well. Instead of using a primer, you can use this as a primer instead. Keeps the skin moisturized, and it has this nice little dewy finish, and my makeup tends to stick quite well to it. Put some too much product on my hand. Let me get some on the towel. And of course you can use any other moisturizer before applying your foundation, as you're wanting your skin to have a nice smooth finish, but also to stay moisturized throughout the day. You don't want your makeup looking all crusty over dry skin. Oh, some clots in the product. I have this for quite some time. I'm actually on my last. I need to stock up on it again, but it's been working so nicely on my skin. This range, I did a review on this specific range. This is for pigmentation in the skin, and I've always had this bad pigmentation on my forehead. My forehead is always much more darker than the rest of my skin, and this actually cleared it up so nicely. Okay, so my skin is set. So before getting into my foundation, I'm going to be doing my eyes first, so that if you have any fallout, it's just easy to wipe away, and it's not this whole big mess over the foundation. So let's get into the eyes. Lately I've been loving the natural brow look. So it's this little fluffy brow, not too much makeup that goes into it. And it's quite simple, beginner friendly, anyone can basically do it. So what I do, I normally just fluff them out first with my little spoolie. I've been waxing my own brows. Trying to get them into the perfect shape. That's about it. And then just to enhance them slightly, but still want them to look natural, just make them slightly darker, I'm going in with my Essence Make Me Brow. It's a brow mascara, and this is in the shade, can I find my shade on here? I think it was just a brown, a shade brown. Comes in, oh, shade is 02 Brownie Brows. So what I tend to do is just fluff them out more with this product lightly over the brows. Essence is, I love this product. Not only are they so affordable, but It's decent products, and you can find them at Clicks, The Scheme, those type of places. Going into the left hand side. So what I've done, I went off cam just to touch up my brows a bit. I went in with my Essence Make Me Brow Mascara, and I just went over those hairs just to darken them a bit and to make them appear more fluffier. Then I cleaned them out, as you can see at the back of my hand, with my Smudge Perfectong Concealer in the shade Ivory. Normally what I do when I use concealers to highlight or to just clean up my brows, I go in with a shade that is about 2 to 3 shades lighter than my own skin. And then, yeah, I cleaned up my brows with a concealer. So now what I'm going to be doing, just to give my lids a smooth surface, this is a nice pigmented color that I'm going to be using on my eyes. And I thought, you know what, it's summertime coming up. Let's just do something simple, easy enough for beginners, anyone who hasn't worn makeup. So I'm going in with my sponge. The sponge I purchased at Clicks. It's by a brand, one of my favorite brands, known as Sorbet. Just run it under some water and then let it dry a bit on a towel, as you don't want it soaking wet, you just want it damp, so that it makes application so much easier, and then also blending out your foundation, concealers, nice and easy. So wow, the reason why I'm doing this is just to make my lid one color. So now I've got some bags of at least sleeping, so I'm just trying to get that nice and not matte but completely smooth and one shade even toned, blocking out those veins on the lids, and also just makes the color pop so much more better, as I am using a highly pigmented color. I purchased this palette that I'm going to be using in today's video, I think about 2 months ago. And I'm only playing around with it today, or actually filming something with this actual palette today. So that's all I'm going to be doing with the lid. Then I'm going in with a setting powder. Wee, my tongue is today. So I'm going in with my Hellllo setting powder, and this is in the shade Banana Yellow. It shows when last I've used this product. I'm going to tap some out. The reason why I'm using setting powder is just to set that concealer into place. And then also, because it's summertime, we tend to sweat, especially being out in the daylight. You're wanting your eye look to last all day, look cute, and not all messy. So I'm just going to be patting some of those powders onto the lid. Nicely getting into the creases, so we can have a nice even look. Maybe you guys can hear the rain. This weather is so crazy. We had such a scorcher yesterday, and today it's storming. And then just picking up any fluffy brush, nice clean one, just to dust off that excess powders. Now going in with my Essence brush. There's no size on here. It's like more of a medium sizey brush. Don't come at me, my brushes are dirty. I haven't cleaned them in a while. Going to be doing that Weekend Goals. And then I'm going into my Makeup Revolution palette. This palette is known as Integrity Wild Animal Palette. Just love it. It's perfect for the summer. Colors are so pigmented. I just love these bright colors. Let's see if I can show you guys that. Oh, just love these colors. And I love the packaging as well. This little animal print going on. And what I like about it, it comes with a mirror. So you can actually use this. I'm going to be using this mirror so that I don't drop the palette like I usually do. And then I'm going to be going in with this yellow color over here. And I'm going to be applying that all over the lid, as this is a simple, foolproof, beginner friendly. It's supposed to be a 5-minute look. Perfect for summer. We are in spring now, but I'm sure this look will work as a summer look. So I'm going to be packing on some of that color. Just to brighten it up a bit. And then of course blending that out. Okay, right into that inner corner. Same on the other side. So I'm going to be doing a slight wing. Not one of my strongest points. I'm going to be doing that off cam as I need to be close to the mirror. Then I will be back to complete the look. So like almost an hour later, this is the wing look that I managed to come up with. Like I said, not one of my strongest points. If you're not into the winged eyelid, just leave it out. So we're going to be getting into the skin part of this video, and I'm going to be using my foundation, Wet n Wild, also another cheapy drugstore product, can be found at Clicks. I think I could purchase this for $99, and I'm in the shade Toffee Pecan. It comes with a little spatula. I'm just going to be applying this. This is a medium to full coverage. Really keeps the skin hydrated as well during the day, but you're always wanting to add some extra moisture, especially if your skin is dry. And I'm going to be using that same sponge again just to blend that out. Getting into my babies. I love this makeup during summer. I used it actually last year for the first time over the festive season. And it worked really well on my skin, lasted all day, but of course you have to apply your setting sprays just to keep everything intact. And I'm filming with my new baby. I've been complaining for a while that I need to upgrade my filming equipment, but I just never got to doing that because I've been focusing on so many other things, and I've hardly been on here for social media for that matter. And today my husband decided to surprise me. Came home with a ring light and tripod. I sent him to the shop for a few other things, and he came back with my ring light. This shows the difference between a man and a woman. Send a woman to the shop for one item, she comes back with 5 unnecessary items. Wink wink, nudge nudge. And yet he surprised me today and came home with something that he knew I actually really needed. And I've always just been putting it off. I've been making excuses. And he purchased one for me, so it's making my job so much more easy. As you can see, my lighting is so much better. I'm just blending that in. Let's wait for that airplane to pass. Guys, how crazy was that earthquake this weekend? It was so scary. On Saturday evening, my husband and I were busy braaiing. We're in the northern suburbs. And we were busy braaiing, but the weirdest thing was, while we were busy braaiing, I happened to look up and I'm like, oh my god, I saw a shooting star. I'm like, I'm nearly 30 years old. I've always thought shooting stars are myths, as I've never personally seen one. I've always heard about them, seen them in movies, but I've never actually seen one. I was like, oh my god, I saw a shooting star. My hubby was sitting there, but like opposite me, and he didn't see it. So I felt like, am I going crazy, delusional, or what? Like literally 20 minutes later, we are busy talking, and then both of us jumped up because we heard this loud sound, and we felt the tremors at our feet. So confused, not knowing what the hell that was. Next morning we googled it, spoke to the neighbors like, no, they've heard it as well. It's a tiny little earthquake that happened somewhere, I don't know how many kilometers out in sea. And then Sunday morning I was laying in bed, and the kids came running into the room. I was on the phone at the time with my dad. And then all of a sudden we heard this loud, extremely loud. It sounded as if we lived not too far from the highway, so we normally hear, like, you know, those loud little trucks that carries the trailers. We normally hear that, and that normally wakes me. And I said, no man, this is too loud for that. And my bed actually shook. The kids came running from their room into our room. So scared, not understanding. Shame, they were so scared. They don't understand these type of things, and it was so hard explaining to them. But now what makes matters worse is like, they're not telling us anything about it. They're like, yeah, the tremors felt on Sunday is not related to the tremors that we felt on Saturday evening. So like, what the hell? What's going on, guys? Be upfront with us. Still waiting for a formal statement. But yeah, 2020, right? If 2020 was a person, oh my god. Because I'm just using some of the extra foundation to pat down into my neck so that we don't look all crazy. Photoshopped. So next I'm going in with my foundation, or my concealer. This one is Smudge Perfectong Concealer in the shade Ivory, the same concealer that I used for my lids. I'm going to be doing a slight highlight, so I don't want to overdo it in the summertime. So because of my forehead, I tend to put a little bit of concealer there. I'm not wanting to brighten the entire forehead. And then some down the bridge of my nose, just to chisel my nose out a bit. And then Gucci bag. Adding a little bit of the concealer, bringing it down to my nose as I'm going to be setting this area. This part of my T-zone is basically my sweaty part, and when I'm out in sunlight or hot day with makeup on, I tend to sweat more. Let me just put some top of my lip, and that's the areas that I highlight, and then patting it out. Sponge. Trying to keep the concealer right there. Down center of my nose. And then under the eyes, always looking up so that we get the concealer nicely underneath those eyes, in those creases. You can have a nice, smooth, even finish. Nicely. And even that concealer's out over my forehead. And now I'm going to be setting with my setting powder, same setting powder that I used, the LA Girl Banana Yellow powders, just to set those concealers into place so that we don't cake and crease, and the sweat won't let the makeup separate from the skin. Try not to put too much of it on, as I don't want to lighten my highlight. You get what I mean? And then down the bridge of my nose, as I am quite sweaty on my nose. And I'm going to let that sit a bit, and then I'll be back to do my contour. So I managed to get a phone call while filming, and I had to press pause. But in the meantime, while on the phone call, I dusted the same fluffy brush I used earlier. I dusted those little powders away, so that I can continue with my contour. And for the contour, I've been using a new trick lately. I haven't been using any concealers. Normally I use a concealer 2 shades or 3 shades darker than my own skin tone just to do the contours, but I decided to do something natural. One of my favorite beauty bloggers actually does it. The name is Symphony Soto. She's an American blogger, YouTuber. I'll add her links down below. But I see she's been doing her contour using foundation, and it gives so much like a natural finish. It looks so much more smoother. It comes out just completely neat. So I decided to buy me a small little tube of foundation. You can of course use any foundation. This one I'm using today is by Yardley, and it's in the shade Mocha. As you can see, it is darker than my own skin tone. So what I do, I've been just adding some of this. As it is a foundation, you don't really need as much as a concealer, as it just blends much better. So I just add them to my places that I want to enhance, placing them slightly above my cheekbones. A little bit goes a long way, so I'm going to be doing this little by little. Going in with the other side of the sponge that I used earlier on, just to blend out the foundation. Can you see what I mean? It's much more blendable, and it actually spreads much further onto the skin compared to a foundation, obviously depending on what type of foundation you, not foundation but concealers you're used to using. And I find that this one works fairly well. So again, with a dabbing motion, using that same sponge I used earlier on, trying to keep it underneath my jawline or cheekbone. I do go slightly higher than my cheekbone just to make it more chiseled. But I'm not wanting to do too much, as this is a beginner friendly look and it is a summertime look, so I don't really like a lot of foundation in summer or a lot of products being on my skin, as I feel that your skin needs to breathe as you are sweating. And what the makeup tends to do, it blocks or clogs up your pores, making everything less breathable. All that makeup gunk and everything just gets trapped underneath your skin, and then you end up with a breakout the next day. So I like having clear skin in the summer, or basically all year round. So I'm just adding some more, trying to minimize that forehead by adding some shadows around it. And of course I think to do my babies again after blinds. So I've been a bit self-conscious lately, not only because I've been going through my hair transitioning phase. If you haven't seen that video is before this one, where I actually show you guys exactly what I've been doing on my hair. So besides adjusting to a natural hair look, not having it smooth and sleek like I have been doing for all these years, I had a near-death experience quite a few months ago. I've always been a sweet lover, and I'm a smoker. Bad habit, I'm admitting to it. And I've just generally haven't been taking care of myself lately. I've just been eating everything I want, thinking like, I'm skinny, I won't pick up the weight, blah blah. But besides that, my teeth was in such a bad state. So the one night, I nearly OD'd, basically. Spent the evening at my parents' place with the kids, because we had a nice weekend. And then all of a sudden my teeth just like started paining like so badly. So what I've been doing like on a daily basis, like I became so used to taking painkillers and taking so many painkillers at a time that I didn't actually realize what I was doing. I was just wanting to numb the pain. And that evening I was literally banging my head against the wall. It was so painful, I couldn't handle it. And I took a mipridol. I think I took two or three mipridols because the pain was so bad. It wasn't working. Eventually I crushed the Disprin. I put it in my teeth. I know, sound like a drug addict. Put some Disprin in my teeth. I actually put on some grandpa as well because the pain just wouldn't go away. And then eventually my dad said, you know what, let's go to ER. It's really bad. I was due for the dentist a few days later for my dentist appointment, and then all of a sudden I just collapsed. And then I knew something was wrong. Shame I had to wake the poor kids. All of us rushed through to the ER section, and the way the doctor that actually saw me, the way he shut me out that day, I was never that scared in my life before. Because I didn't realize the products that I was taking, all the pain medication I was taking, it all contained something known as codeine, which is in the same group. Like you get the paracetamol, you get the ibuprofen, you get the different types of drugs, so they all fall under different groups. So if you are taking a ibuprofen, it's fine to take a codeine pill after that because it's not from the same group. You know what I mean? If you're needing something much more stronger. And then but all the products, all the painkillers I took was all from the same group. So I normally OD'd and nearly OD'd on codeine. So that was actually like my turning point. I was so scared. It's like, no, I'm a mom, I'm enjoying my life, I'm still young, not even 30 years yet. And then they gave me a drip just to flush out everything, and then another little pill to help me sleep and to balance out everything so that I don't actually OD. So yeah guys, be careful when self-dosing. And because of that also affected my self-esteem, because I'm left with a gap. That was one of my extractions that same week. After this entire experience, I went over to my dentist. It took 2 days, and over the 2 days I had 5 extractions, 2 of which were my wisdom teeth, and then 7 fillings in total. So yeah, I wasn't happy chap that entire week because I was in pain most of the time. And now, due to COVID, I am staying away from all doctors or hospitals, basically all medical practices, in fear of contracting the virus and bringing it home to my little babies. Okay, so that is my contour completed and my life story. It's a bit of a chatty video, but I felt that I haven't been on here and chatted to you guys in so long, so I thought I would like just share some things with you. You guys are basically fam bam. So that is my contour set in place. What you can do if you feel that your contour is not clean and cut, you can just go in again with your setting powders, put them underneath there and just kind of blur that lines away if there's any harsh lines. But I prefer using the sponge, as a sponge just gives it a much more natural finish. You guys can see that is my contour and highlight. Using foundation, I think I picked this one up for about 70 rand or 74 rand, yeah. Clicks was having a special. It was 149.95, marked down to 74 rand. I found this in one of these sale bins, like going around to Clicks every now and then, because they always have some nifty little things that you might need at sale price. That's my bargain buy. That is my contour and my highlight. So now I'm going to be getting into my under eye and the lippy. So because it is summer and it's a daytime look, I'm wanting to brighten up the white parts of my eyes a bit so I can look more healthy. So I'm going in with my Michelle Ori. This is a white eyeliner and it's known in the shade Snow White 712. Also purchased at Clicks. I'm going to be applying that in my waterline. I also feel that a black line or black pencil on the waterline will be a bit too harsh. Maybe for a nighttime look you could add your black pencil. Can even brown would even work for this. I love this pencil, so pigmented, like just like one swatch. You get that white pop. As you guys can see, that red at the bottom of my eyes. Tiredness, aka kids. So that is the white line. I just add some extra sexiness, summery look. And then I'm going to be picking up my angle brush. This one I purchased at Bling. Bling is one of my favorite stores. If you're oldie on this channel, you'd know that I always pop around to Bling in N1 City. I think there's one in R3 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Going back in that palette again, going to finish off this color or this eye look. Going back in for that yellow shade. Just fill out that under eye. So they can look more finished off. Complete the eye a bit. I did this look over the weekend and I actually added this little burnt orange over there. I just felt that I think I'll just try and keep it one color and show you guys how simple and easy it is to do this look. Just using one color instead of picking up a whole bunch of colors and having to wash your brushes like some of us don't do. Me. That is the under eye. I feel I need a bit more. I always say I'm not going to do too much when starting off a look, but once I get into it, it becomes like more, give me more. Ah! Successfully managed to put that brush in my eye. Next I'm going to be going in with my mascara. This mascara I picked up at Clicks as well. Someone put me onto this saying that this is like a product that's highly overrated, but it's so affordable. This is by Essence Lash Princess. This is the false lash effect. So it's perfect for a girl like me who struggles to apply falsies, and of course in summer you're not wanting to do everything like, you know, full face bead like I just did. And applying false lashes as well. In summertime I tend to sweat a lot. Less for me is better. Like the less products that I have on my skin, or less makeup products basically on my skin. And then you guys can see that volume, it really gives that false lash effect. And so affordable. And then to the bottom lash as well. Kind of open up that eye to add that drama. Same on the other side. I don't know if you guys can see, but the wand is slightly angled, so it's perfect when applying it because you get that little tiny ease going like big but not too big, if you know what I mean, and then having the outers give you that cat eye look with that longer kind of a lash on the outer lashes. And then again some. So that is a little bit more on the side, yeah, because I feel that my contour is there but it's not really there, so I'm just going to enhance it slightly, and I'm going to be going in with one of my bronzers. This bronzer I purchased at this game, I wish. This bronzer I purchased at Bling, one of the cheapest. There's no, nearly dropped it, no name on it. And I'm going to be using that little fluffy brush that I used earlier on, as there is not much product on it. I'm just going to be tapping that slightly into the bronzer and then going over that areas to add some warmth to my face, because it feels as if my face looks a bit flat. So I'm just going to enhance wherever I place those little foundation. And of course it's a summer look, so you want them to look all tan. Just came from a holiday, level 1, still can't do any holidays overseas. I'd rather say than sorry, right? So I'm just adding some warmth to my skin, making it as pure as if I just came from the tropical islands. Blending that out, as we do not want any harsh lines. Oh guys, I've joined TikTok, by the way. I haven't done anything on there this month, I think. But when I was on it, I was like, what is in this app? It's like so addictive. When I started, I just couldn't put my phone down and I looked like a mental person laughing at my phone all the time. And then of course, showing the videos to my husband, and I was like, look at this. And he's like, okay. I'm like, okay. Back with the earphones and just glued to that phone laughing. You know, guys are so creative, especially the Americans, but South Africans are getting there. I've been having fun watching South African TikTok. And shame it's banned in America, so South Africa, do your shit, boo boo. So that is it, and then just using the last of the product to choose out the jaw. And then for some blush, if you're wanting to look slightly flushed, I'm going to be using this no-name palette over here. I purchased at Bling as well. It's got 4 little blush shades in them. So I'm going to be using a little brush. This one, I don't know if you can see the shade. It's got like this peachy kind of a color to it. I'm not into pink red blushes, so I like the ones that look more natural and warm. So I'm just going to grab some of that and then dab it slightly. See, it's like a slight blush, but not too much. You know, like you just coughed and not sneezed your life away. Just blending that out. Some color back into the skin. And then just a little bit on the tip of your nose as you're wanting to look a bit blushed. Oh, I just took that under the under eye, but anyways. Going for a natural, summery, glowy kind of a look. Now into the favorite part of my video where we do our highlighting, which completes the look. I just set my face with some setting spray, as it is summer and we're wanting our makeup to stick. So set your face before applying your highlighter, and I'm going to be doing my trick, which I've been doing for so long, just to give it that natural glowy highlight look. Well, and I haven't steered away from it because I just love the way it looks. It's like this natural, sexy, dewy, highlighty look, and we are of course going for a natural look, and it is summer, so I'm going to be using a slight pink tint to my highlight just to make it look a bit more natural, and to go with that little blush that I just applied. I'm going to be using my NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator, and this is in the shade L101 Sunbeam. See if I can put that on the back of my hand. I don't know if you can see, it's slightly, it's like a slight pinkish, but it's got like hints of glitter to it, so that will also just add to our look. putting it over there and then going to be dabbing it with that sponge just to make it look a bit blended and not patched on. Okay, so you can see that. And then just some to above my brows. You're wanting to look like a little goddess. And then my next step is my Old Faithful, I just dropped my sponge. So I'm going into my Southern tissue oil. You can of course use any type of oil. And I'm going to be going over those little areas just to give it like a glossy highlighter look, and of course helping with the hydration on the skin. It also just sits so well with the powder highlight, giving it that glossy, natural, like it's there. Is it there? Is it not there? Is it there? You guys getting effect. And then again over there, and then some above my lippy and the top of my nose. I usually would highlight right down my nose with highlighter, but I don't want to have a chiseled look, so I just want that nice little dewy, summer, fresh faced, natural, glowy, dewy, sexy, summery look. And then finally I'm going into my Swiitch Slays for Days. I know the palette is quite dirty, but this is my Glowgasm highlighting palette. This is what it looks like. It comes in 6 lovely shades, which I love so much. And I think I'm going to be going in with Champagne Showers. It's got like this peachy undertone to it, so we're wanting something natural, but something that you can see is there, as you know. I love my highlight, and using my little fan brush, which you can of course purchase at Bling as well. I'm applying it over all those areas which I liquid highlighted, just dabbing it in a bit to make it look a bit more natural. I tend to overdo it with the highlighter sometimes. But I love my highlight. We'll once again wait for that airplane to go past before I continue speaking. Kan sommer sien ons level 1. Almal vlieg. Almal wil vlieg. My lippie. I think that's enough highlighter. I'm going a bit overboard, but we are wanting that nice little summery glow. Next I'm going in with my lippy. Now I bought the shade as it was on special. It is the Vivid Hot Lacquer by Maybelline. Was 160 rand, got it for 110. I just love the little shade, but I'm not quite sure that it is like for my skin tone. As you can see, it's very white. Let's just test it out quickly. Let's just wipe it off again. It's like very white and alien looking. It's like a glossy, but very thick. No, I think I'm gonna blend it out with another color, just to add some pigment to my lips. At least I blotched out my smoker's lips. I think I'm going to pick up one of my Yardley colors. I don't want to do something too red as the eye is bright. So I think I'm going to go in with the raspberry. This is by Yardley Color Stay, the Color Stay range. Let me just see if this works. Let's get a proper blend. Adding little at a time. I like messing around with my lipsticks, like mixing and matching shades. And sometimes when you look at a lipstick in the shop, it's like, oh, this is going to be so nice, you swatch it on your hand, but once you apply it to your lips, it's like a completely different color. I think I actually like this pink. It's quite cute. But I think I should put on some gloss over this. So let me get my gloss and then I'm going to complete my lip. And then, yeah, our look is nearly complete. I added a gloss on top of that lip as I felt that it was a bit too pink. So in order to balance it out, I wanted slight, like a gloss to it, but a slight hint of red. So I went in with my Yardley Lip Lustre lip gloss, which is quite hydrating, perfect for the summer, in the shade Unleashed. And I just went over that lipstick. It's all about building to get that perfect color. But yeah, this completes today's look. Hope you guys had as much fun as I did making this video. If there's anything you're wanting to see in future, let me know in the comment sections down below. You suggest whatever I need to film, I deliver. But yeah, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up, share it, share the shit out of it. And yeah, thank you again for tuning in. Stay safe, God bless, sending loads of love and light your way. Until next time.